Polish President Kaczynski and 96 others killed in jet crash. The Polish President Lech Kaczynski and some of the country's highest military and civilian leaders passed away on Saturday when the presidential plane crashed as it came in for a landing in thick fog in western Russia, taking 97, officials said. Russian and Polish officials said there were no survivors on the 26-year-old Russian-made plane, which was taking the president, his wife, and staff to events marking the 70th anniversary of the massacre in Katyn Forest of thousands of Polish officers by Soviet secret police. The crash devastated the upper echelons of Poland's political and military establishments. On board were the Army Chief of Staff, the Navy Chief Commander, and the heads of the air and land forces. Also killed were the National Bank President, Deputy Foreign Minister, Army Chaplain, Head of the National Security Office, Deputy Parliament Speaker, Olympic Committee Head, Civil Rights Commissioner, and at least 2 presidential aides and 3 lawmakers, the Polish Foreign Ministry said. Although initial signs pointed to an accident with no indication of foul play, the death of a Polish president and much of the Polish state and defense establishment in Russia, while on the way to commemorating one of the saddest events in Poland's long, complicated history of Russia, was laden with tragic irony, reflecting the grave sensibilities of the crash to relations between the two countries. Russian Prime Minister Vladimir Putin personally assumed charge of the investigation. He landed in Smolensk on Saturday with an entourage of Russian officials to meet the Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk, who was flying in from Warsaw. The president's twin brother, a former prime minister, also flew there in a chartered plane, according to his party. "This is unbelievable. This is tragic," said Kaczynski's predecessor. "It is a cursed place. Horrible symbolism," he said. "It's hard to believe. You get chills down your spine." Pilot ignored instructions. Russian dispatchers asked the crew to divert from the military airport and land instead in Minsk, the capital of neighboring Belarus, or in Moscow, because of the fog. While traffic controllers generally have the final word in whether it is safe for a plane to land, they can and do leave it to the pilot's discretion. Poland, a nation of 38 million people, is by far the largest of the 10 formerly communist countries that have joined the European Union in recent years. Last year, Poland was the only EU nation to avoid recession and posted economic growth of 1.7%. It has become a firm U.S. ally in the region since the fall of communism, a stance that crosses party lines. The country sent troops to the U.S.-led war in Iraq and recently boosted its contingent in Afghanistan to some 2,600 soldiers. Missile pact U.S. Patriot missiles are expected to be deployed in Poland this year. That was a Polish condition for a 2008 deal to host long-range missile defense interceptors. The deal, which was struck by the BUSH administration, angered Russia and was later reconfigured under President Barack Obama's administration. Under the Obama plan, Poland would host a different type of missile defense interceptors. Kaczynski is the first serving Polish leader to die since World War II. In the village of Gorzno in northern Poland, The streets were largely empty as people stayed home to watch television. It is very symbolic that they were flying to pay homage to so many murdered Poles, said one resident, 73. I worry because so many clever and decent people were killed, said a high school student, 17. I am afraid we may have problems in the future to find equally talented politicians. May the Lord rest their souls. This is a tragedy or a disaster for the country of Poland. These are more signs of the end times, transition days. There is a real transition going on. Everything that must change for the better, and quickly. These are more signs.